gentle breeze whispers secrets to the leaves. As sunlight weaves patterns through the forest canopy. Roots entwine, a silent symphony of unity. In this sacred dance we find our place in eternity. One heart, one pulse resonating through time. The rhythm of existence, a cosmic rhyme. Healing melodies flow from the depths within love's harmonious embrace, where healing begins.
Welcome to the Nature of Healing podcast. My name is Jen Shepard, and I am your host. This program is produced by Bolts of Love. This is a sanctuary place where we explore the myriad paths to align ourselves with the essence of healing and wellness and wholeness. Each episode is a journey closer to the love that we embody and that weaves the very fabric of the universe. So join us in each episode as we delve into conversations that illuminate the spirit, engage the mind, and soothe the soul. And from wisdom of ancient traditions to the insights of modern practices, we seek universal truth that transcend boundaries and awaken the healer within each one of us. So whether you're seeking solace, inspiration, or a deeper connection to that all-encompassing love, you are in the right place. So let's embrace this transformative power of healing together. And together, as we discuss and unfold and develop and be, we move ever closer to the love that we each are. I'm so happy today that you all get to meet Heather Hart. She's a guiding spirit behind A Compassionate Hart. Heather is such a beautiful beacon of light in the realm of healing and spiritual growth. And with a heart as expansive as the universe, she dedicates her life to nurturing the seeds of compassion and understanding in every soul she encounters. As a very seasoned practitioner of holistic wellness, Heather weaves the ancient art of mindfulness with contemporary healing modalities, and she offers sanctuary for those seeking solace and rejuvenation. Her intuitive approach to wellness transcends the physical, touching the very essence of each of our beings and inviting a harmonious balance between our mind and our body and our spirit. She's so much more than the friendly neighborhood massage therapist. And on today's The Nature of Healing podcast, Heather shares her insights and her transformative experiences. So I invite you to allow her wisdom to be with you today, embrace that love that surrounds all of us, and discover that compassionate heart within yourself as Heather shares hers today. Hello, Heather.
Hi, Jen. How are you today?
Good, beautiful. Now, I usually let people just introduce themselves and say who they are and how they see themselves. And I know you've been like a healer business for over 20 years?
Yes. So I've been in the massage industry for over 20 years. I'm the owner of A Compassionate Hart massage therapy here in Erie, Pennsylvania. And I've been working with you for 8 or 9 years. I feel like it's longer than I always feel it is.
Yeah, it's getting up there and it might be close to double digits now.
Right. So, and healing for me has been a journey, evolution along the way, changes. It's different when you're in business for healing, as opposed to as I've been throughout healing altogether. I've been the one trying to heal. I've been the one helping people facilitate to heal. And I've also been trying to grow a business in healing, which are all three very different things. So
how do you feel that the business of healing is different than healing? I mean, how is it different for you since you put them into categories there?
Yeah. So, well, because I got to make money to be in business. And it's such a, as much as you hate charging people
Mm-hmm.
for that type of work, which I know us as healers always struggle with, um, I need to operate, so money, I've had to work on my healing with money throughout this journey, as far as knowing that it's not an evil in the world. It does make the world go around, but it also can be used in very, very good ways. And coming to heal with that has been an interesting journey in
Uh,
itself.
do you mind talking about that a little bit? Because that's interesting that the healer needs to heal themselves
Mm-hmm.
in order to do the
Mm-hmm.
work of healing. And so you picked out money as one. So what does that journey look like for you?
Um, it's do I it's hard to explain. It's hard to discuss. Hiring people, independent contractors, various things like that. In our industry, a lot of us like to work independently. We're very much not corporate people, right? And a lot of us don't come from a very wealthy background, right? So, and we are in it for the passion and for the heart of it. So with trying to grow a business and hire people and collaborate with people, where I'm trying to make sure we all get some of the money, a lot of times ends up with me not getting any of the money. So I continue trying to find ways to facilitate this in bigger ways in our community here and bring different things in. Um, and I think a lot of people don't realize that money is not necessarily how much you have. There's no end point with having it. It's really money or per se energy that flows through you, right? So that you can do the work that you want to do um, in the community to help heal.
So what's your dream or your endeavors in the community? So we're talking about wider community. What does that look like for you?
So I really want to create a space where people are accepted, not people are accepted by other people, right? But where we can accept ourselves
Mm-hmm.
for who we are, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I want to create a space where people can look themselves in the mirror and spend time with all of themselves, and come out of it with a better understanding of who they are, who they can be on all spectrums, because we all are all of that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, and I think that's huge in part of the healing journey. And understanding and having conversations with those different parts of yourselves, moving forward. And I want to create a space where that is safe and that is sacred, and that people start having those inward conversations.
How does that look like for somebody that runs a massage company?
Right. So at that time on that table is for you, despite there being somebody in that space. And as you know, I'm working on some expansion plans here, but that time on that table is for you to be introspective, not just physically, but mentally, right? Um, what comes up for you? So I got a massage yesterday, and there were several times where, because of the nervous system getting relaxed,
Mm-hmm.
we start having that out of body experience where you slip into that space between being awake and being asleep.
Okay.
And I think we've all been there, right? Where all this, like, you start seeing some things, you start feeling some things, and you're not here, right? And then sometimes you'll jerk back and be like, whoa, hello, oh, there I am, right? But it's in that space. It's that space there where a lot of really, really cool stuff can happen. Things can come up, images, feelings. And you can sit with that afterwards. What was that? What was coming up for me, right? And that's what's happening on that table, whether it be physically, emotionally, or spiritually, right? And you're not going to get your answers right then and there, but it's integration, right? To bring that back into the physical world and to think about it, feel it, see what happens, sleep on it, right?
How do you trying to think of how to phrase this. So if I'm somebody that goes into your place for massage, is there some kind of talk or extra that so that they can understand that process? I mean, it seems like for somebody is just going, because I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And
I just came up with it.
okay, well, I love it, because what I'm thinking, but I'm like, how does one in a business setting of massage, I mean, do you do extra training to facilitate that for somebody? Is there another room with another professional that just sits there in case there's is there a place for somebody to sit with that, or a discussion that's something that happens?
So there's a few things that I've been doing as we evolve in the terms of massage. So we have been working on being trauma informed. I know that's a huge uh, word now that people are using, but that's something that us as massage therapists have always been mindful of and have been taught from the very get-go in school about emotional releases and various things like that. So what is tough is having those conversations beforehand to dive into deeper about emotions, right? Like, hey, and it depends on what the client is coming in for too. Um, where we where my business is going, we are going to be having more of those conversations. Right now, we're not built specifically for that. However, moving forward, where we're going to be going is we're going to be having a chill lounge for after,
Beautiful,
for
beautiful.
where there's going to be tea, there's going to be journaling, there's going to be a space for you for
Mhm.
that integration time. And I'm hoping too, when what we're going to do is when you come into that space as well, what do you want to leave behind today? And what do you need to sit with today?
That's
Right?
beautiful. Yes. Yeah, I think that's amazing. I know we've had this conversation before that I need to work myself up to even try a massage again, because my past experience and it hasn't been with you, just full disclosure, no other's place.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't know that there was any thought around any of this, or even um and I'm not sure that the person I was with was trained or understood that layer, because that's not the experience I had, you know.
Mhm.
Um so that's interesting that there would be a place that would incorporate all of that understands that really is not, because sometimes it's very clinical, right? You go in, you do the thing, you pay your bill, and you're out the door, and maybe it's something that you do every once in a while, or maybe it's just a treat you give yourself. But what you're talking about is something that can be incorporated into your whole wellness routine, to understand that that's a safe place to take care of the body part of it, and know that there's a place for the emotional as well.
Yes. And I think that has to do with business, right? Unfortunately, with business, it's in and out. There's numbers that have to be involved. And it's also, the staffing. All of my therapists here come with different skill sets, are here for different reasons, right? Some of them are plainly here for the physical healing of things. There's others that tap a little bit deeper into, wanting to explore Reiki and energy healing and various things like that. So trying to cater to all these differences, it's a part of evolution as well in my business, where right now I might not be able to really financially offer that time for coming in, sitting with, being with, discussing integration afterwards. I mean, that's all time that happens, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So what I'm shifting toward with the new place though is I'm working all of that in with the kinds of services that I'll be offering. So
That I think that's great to recognize all the different facets. How does that recognizing all those different facets affect how you take care of your own self? I mean, I know that's been
um,
a journey. I mean, we're talking about, over a lifetime of 20 years of business, and when you're moving this direction. So, what's that look like for you personally, though? If
personally, all of that evolves to, like, all of this stuff I'm talking about right now just kind of came to fruition this week in my head, like actually all came together with those words. And a lot of it is me talking to other people about where I'm going with my business as I start to visualize what I want it to be and what I want to offer. Um, for myself, um, it's been years of learning not to numb myself from the world, right? Learning how to accept myself for me. So that looks in different ways, as far as from quitting drinking 2 years ago to knowing that I have something to offer to our community in a different way, jumping forward and trying to lead the charge with this kind of business and healing in our community. All of those are different ways of me healing. Does that make sense?
yes, it's like moving in your own power. Um, not being, knowing that you're worthy, and
Mhm.
expressing your talents. Because one of the reasons I even wanted to do this podcast is to show the individual talents, and moving into that power is the healing, as well as the physical healing, but that all of it is recognizing compassion for ourselves in some way, and allowing that to, that lotus flower that we keep stuffed under in the mud all the time, to let it actually grow, and know that there's a whole bunch of different colors of lotus flowers out there.
Yeah. And it's not all flowers along this journey. There's a lot of
No, there's
there's a lot of freaking tears, and there's a lot of oh shits, right? Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on here,
no,
but
it's fine. It's a lot of mud. I mean, I guess that's why I like the lotus flower, um,
yeah.
because it's mud. It's total mud that you got to get through.
Yep. Yep. And it's all things that I knew when I made the decision to quit drinking. It was because I knew it was my time. I knew it was my time to step forward and quit dicking around and do what I know that I can do if I put my mind and my heart to it fully, fully, and be there consciously and accept it and just do it, right?
But what kind of changes have you witnessed in yourself since the numbing is what you picked out, and you made that choice and to shift it, right? So what ways has the not numbing allowed for your healing? I mean, because when we stop numbing, we numb in all kinds of ways. I know I like the TV personally. for,
Mhm.
and I know when I'm doing it, I know when I'm sitting down and want to turn off, and the TV comes on. We all have a some.
Um, well, and that's one of the things that I've learned. It is okay to numb, right? So everybody says numbing is bad. It's okay. You don't have to be there all the time,
Beautiful.
right?
Thank you. Yes. Yeah.
So I've spent a year and a half, 2 years sober, all in all my thoughts, all of it, feelings, emotions, all of it. I have processed, I have dealt with more than most, and it's okay. You can't do it all the time. You can't. you know, it's okay to choose. It's okay to have escapes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're
You
human,
have,
right? We're human.
right. And like you said, it's okay to find ways to numb. It's just choosing your choices of, and then always making sure, because with anything, there's that trajectory of when it starts to become bad, right?
When you're not feeling anything at all.
Right. So there needs to be that conscious choice of it. There needs to be that just being mindful of that. Yeah. And not to constantly avoid, because you gotta feel it.
You do. You do. Yeah. That's probably, I think we moved from this, you know, everybody doesn't know what to do with their feelings, to we just have to do happy feelings, right? To knowing that our bodies need to process all of our life, which includes some things that might be uncomfortable.
And yes, so this is, I don't know why I always bring this up, but I do. So I watch my dogs,
Mm-hmm.
who, Rosie is never interested in bones until there's another dog around that has a bone. And then that starts like this little jealousy thing, this envy, right? All of these emotions that we all feel, right? Like, we all feel. And these are natural emotions. And we try to say that, well, I don't feel envy or jealous of other people. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
We all do. And you have to learn it's okay. I mean, it's survival. It's literally biologically built into us. These aren't just emotions. These aren't these things that we're just producing because we're pieces of shit, right? This is actual biological feelings.
Yeah. And they tell us something about us. So if we're jealous, sometimes that can be a tremendous motivator, because if we know that we're jealous about something, it's like, well, if I don't, if I want to be doing that and I feel this way because somebody else is doing that, then maybe I should learn how to do that or move forward and do more of that.
Right,
That's
right.
what
So,
it's telling us.
and that's just it. So it's not suppressing those emotions, but it's what you do with them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yes. So like Rosie, she's interested in bones now, only when other dogs are around. But you know what? Now that gives her something to do. That gives her, you know what I mean? Keeps her occupied. It makes her happy when she does do it. Right? So yeah. So it's not just, it's recognizing that we all have those emotions and it's okay to have those emotions. And then using them to better ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay to sometimes be like, right? But to make sure that you're moving forward with it in a positive manner. Yes.
So what does that, yeah, again, I like the idea of, if we go back to what you said before, if we're sitting with it, if something comes up and we recognize it, sit with it. And what is it telling us? What is it really saying? Is it, is it because you really want to do something and you're not doing it? Is it because you had an experience that you just blurted out of your existence and didn't take care of it, and it's in your body remembers it?
Right.
It's all of it, all of it. I love dog examples, because dogs also, well, all animals, but they'll shake, right? It's like once they feel the thing, they have it, they know it's there, and they take care of themselves immediately and put themselves back into place. I know they've studied children and conflict areas and how much they shake, and it's a way to regulate. Now that's an extreme example, but it reminds me of you in the massage as well, that you're actually working that release, because we've forgotten how to shake.
Yep.
We don't think it's cool or whatever.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, those are good. Yeah,
So what
good
other,
talk.
you talked about Reiki and, but I think, didn't I see reflexology on your website?
Yeah, so one of the ladies I just hired, she just started doing, well, she's been doing reflexology, but now we can offer that in the office here for people having that connection to those different points, whether it be in their hands and their feet, um, to get a little bit deeper in those meridians and stuff and those energy lines, to access things a different way that way. Yes.
There's all kinds of ways to have that release or that readjustment.
Right, right. And it doesn't always have to be, just physical right on that area. There's so many connections that, you could push that button over here to help that over there.
Yeah. And I tell people that all the time with you because you helped me walk when nobody else could. I don't know if you remember, but a while back when I messed up my knee and
Uh-huh.
go in and you would like, this might be extreme, but it would like touch my shoulder and something in my hip would happen. And we did that, what, 4 or 5 times. And I haven't had a walking problem since then, which is amazing for my life because I've always, that's knee's been always a thing for me. So yeah, that you understand that like this part of your body connects here and all the things, and it, very, very non-invasive as well.
Right, right. Well, and those are different things. When you're seeking physical healing, we all have our things. Like, people will come in and be like, "Oh, I have neck pain, but please don't touch my neck." Right? I'm like, okay. So you got to find other ways to access it, right? And it can be, there's always ways to get to things that, whether it be physically, emotionally, or even spiritually, there's a lot of ways to go around and through instead of having direct access to. So that's kind of what reflexology is, right? It's different ways to get to different parts of your body to regulate, um, and to facilitate healing without having to actually poke your kidney with your finger. Yeah. So,
Poke your toe instead.
yeah, so poke your toe instead.
If
But
there's one thing that you would, like one piece of advice or something that you embody for your work that you'd like to put out there.
oh, hello.
I
I
know.
don't got nothing. I wish I had a great tagline, but I don't.
I don't know that it needs to be a tagline.
You give me something.
I give you something.
Yeah.
For me, I like how much of a variety that you are willing to investigate, knowing that not everybody fits into, one bubble, one. So like, for example, when I came to you with my knee thing, you knew that I had some kind of something with a past massage therapist. So you didn't go there. You're like, well, let's try this other thing, that we don't have to be on the table like that, and we can work with your body in different ways. That you're so open and intuitive enough to say, all right, there's all of these ways.
Right.
And to
Right.
have, and that you don't take it on yourself, that you've hired or been able to hire and expand enough all these different people that have that talent or that niche that you can bring together, is for me quite amazing.
It's been a series of problem solving, right? So every single time I'm like, oh, I wish I could offer this or do this. I go out either seeking the piece of equipment, seeking the right person, seeking the right modality, right? It's this constant drive for problem solving, right? And also not necessarily me wanting to do all the work because I know that I can't, but I know that I can look for a solution to these specific types of problems. And I think that's where my forte has come to fruition within the last few years through my journey of being a healing facilitator in a business that offers this type of stuff to people and our community. Um, all of that experience and all of those years have led me to be able to be that person that people can come to and say, hey, I'm not sure if anybody out there can help me, but I've got this problem and I will help you find it.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Heather. Where can people find you if they want to know more?
On our website, compassionateheart.com. We're very active on Facebook, A Compassionate Heart Massage Therapy, kind of Instagram. And we're over here on West 8th Street. So, yeah.
Thank you so much for your time today.
All right. Thank you, Jen. I always enjoy having conversations with you. I had no idea where this was going today, but this was perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
In this sacred dance, we find our place in eternity. One heart, one pulse, resonating through time. The rhythm of existence, a cosmic rhyme. Healing melodies flow from the depths within. Love's harmonious embrace, where healing begins. Mountains hum ancient mantras to the sky. Streams carry memories of stars long gone by. In every note, a thread connecting you and me. The music of existence, a universal symphony. Resonating through time, the rhythm of existence, a cosmic rhyme. Healing melodies flow from the depths within. Love's harmonious embrace, where healing begins. As the sun kisses the horizon, day and night entwine. We are stardust, boundless and divine. In this music we find solace, a sacred art. For the nature of healing is love, and love is our heart. As the sun kisses the horizon, day and night entwine. We are stardust, boundless and divine. In this music, we find solace, a sacred art. For the nature of healing is love, and love is our heart.